Okay, today is Thursday, February 26th, and I'm coming over to what I believe is the call center for San Francisco Police, non-emergency, to request some records. Basically, on 2/18, when I went to the Department of Public Health, I called for police civil standby in order for me to get, an appointment for my public health, which of course has been repeatedly denied by the sheriff and the Department of Public Health. This is the scam that is happening that I'm continuing to point out. Well, anyway, let's get back to what happened on the 18th. On the 18th, I called at 9 o'clock and requested civil standby. And when I spoke to the person here, they gave me, I guess, an incident report number, 150-490-898. Okay, so I requested civil standby. I was at 101 Grove. At that point, I called back at 9:30 to check up on where the civil standby or the status of it was, and found out that they, I guess, didn't have it. It got erased off the board. Is that the normal operating procedure? Let's delve into this so that you can see just how much of a violation of a person's police, civil, and every other kind of humane right there is. All right? Now, at 9:30, and that incident number is 150-491-101, I called, like I said, to check in, and then I requested a second civil standby. Well, lo and behold, of course, no one showed up, so at 11, I called again, and I was told that it's the same incident number because it's pertaining to that somehow, so that's the number to use when I'm requesting it. And the supervisor who was on the phone, because I requested to speak to a supervisor, Joanne Donahue, requested to speak to the sheriff's officer in finding out why I was being denied access and accommodation to a public building seeking public services. At that point, the officer and the supervisor spoke, and then they hung up, and no one informed me of anything, except that I wasn't going to, get what I wanted, which is what's required by law, my legal rights. I wasn't going to get my legal rights, basically. Anyway, so at that point, I began to walk home, and then I called back police non-emergency and spoke with Miss Donahue to ask her, what was going on, and, why is it that I'm not getting, my third request for civil standby, and by the way, what happened to the other two, and is this the normal operating procedure? Somebody calls, you just don't provide it. And she kindly informed me that that building, the 101 Grove, was under the Department of Public Health, and that the sheriff had the sole jurisdiction. I said, I realize that the sheriff is the peace officer here, for security, but certainly not the police officer for rights and everything else. I also asked her, to please hand me, if I came in, I would request a copy of the policy that, basically violated my rights. A copy of the law, not the policy that, abrogated my police rights to the sheriff. So here I am in follow-up because I was, told I could come in and fill out a request to get these records so that, we'll have them and I can post them online and go from there. Hello, is this security? Oh, cool. Hello.
Hi, sir.
Are you security?
Actually, I need you to step outside with me.
You do? Is this not a public office? Is this not a public office?
Step outside with me, please. Okay,
Okay.
what can I do for you, sir?
Well, first you can answer my question. Is this not a public office?
It's a public building, but it's not open to the public. You're here to see Ann Cronenberg, correct? Oh, Mr. Garza, I'm sorry. Are you Mr. Garza, sir?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I spoke to Ann Cronenberg.
Who
She
is?
doesn't want to see you today.
Who is who?
Ann Cronenberg does not want to see you today, sir.
Who is Ann Cronenberg?
According to her, you called asking to make an appointment with her. Now, what is your business
No,
here?
no,
so
no.
I
I
can
spoke
try to
with
help
a Joanne Donahue.
Okay, I can find out what's your business here today?
I'm here because I was told I could come in to fill out a request form for, calls that I made to communication for civil standby at 101 Grove.
Like a CAD request?
No, I called 553-0123 three different times to request civil standby at 101 Grove, the Department of Public Health, because the sheriff and the Department of Public Health were violating my ADA rights
Okay, sir.
into a public building, which the public can go into, correct?
Sir, I bet you, what do you need so I can try to help you out here? So
I need to be able to come in and fill out the form to request
You have a request
the
form to
records,
fill out. Okay.
correct? And I'd like to follow up with Supervisor Joanne Donahue, who I spoke to, and the person who you're referring to I've never heard of.
Okay, I have a station. Here's the thing. You can't film in here. There's sensitive information. So feel free to turn off the recorder, come in, fill out whatever paper.
I tell you what,
sir.
this is part of my ADA disability. Why don't you bring the forms out to me? I'll fill them out here, and then I can give them back to you. You can just take them in and they can be
Let
processed.
me see what I can do with that, okay?
You know, as opposed to, you know, you denying me my ADA rights, because under
I can't
ADA,
have you come
I
in
should
and
be able to go in.
Yeah, you can't film in here. It's
Under
sensitive
ADA, that's
information.
part of my
I'm
condition.
not going to argue with you.
No, I'm not either. So can you please
Okay,
bring
sir.
me the forms and
This is
I'll
what
just
I can
fill
do
them
for
out
you.
here?
And exactly what forms are there again? You need forms for.
For
do you mind
me
if I
to
sit
request
down?
the numbers. Yeah. Here's the numbers that I called for the incidents when I called. You know, and basically, I guess it's to get a transcript of, you know, what happened on that day and who I spoke to, and everything else. So, you know,
So
what
you
comes
need
on the
a-
request form for communications.
Okay, let me see what I can do for you, okay?
Thank you. I'll wait right here.
No worries. Bear it out, okay?
Oh, I'm having no problem, sir, except getting my rights fulfilled. So where have we heard this canard, you know, sensitive information? I believe we've heard it at the chief of police's office, you know, and other police stations, and I guess the public isn't supposed to use them because they don't know how to manage their facilities correctly. They can't provide a public place for people to do this. Obviously, you know, I think you're beginning to learn the rig system here.
Okay, sir.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so what I'll do is I'll fill it out. Now, you know, I'll pay whatever I need to pay, and you can ask them how long this process takes.
There's no charge for that. They can send it to your home free of charge for posting as long as it's under 100 pages. It takes 5 to 10 business days.
So is it pages, or are they going to just send me, like, on a flash drive, you know, the copy of the
It's
recording?
pages, it's papers.
So it's going to be paper of what was said and what time and everything else. Because basically what happened is I called in twice, 3 times to request, and then I called in with a follow-up call to find out why my requests weren't being honored. And supposedly that's an inbound as opposed to a communication. So I'll try and write and make the best notes, and hopefully they'll be able to fill it out properly. All right, so then what do I need to do? Ring the bell when I'm done, give it back to you?
Yes, you ring the
All
bell,
right, and normally it
I'll
takes, how long did you say again?
take 5 to 10 business days.
All right, so let me get this filled out, and then we'll go from here. Now, in the meantime, who has a copy of the law that says, you know, that I give up my police rights coming into this building? Because basically, you know, my civil rights and ADA rights to be able to come in and use the services are being violated by access and accommodation here. So
Sir, you're not allowed to film your sensitive information. I'm not
can I
recording
see
it,
the
but
copy of that law?
You can feel free to go ahead and look it up yourself, sir. Have a good day. Let us know when
So
you
you're
got
not
that.
going to help me with that, even under my condition? You're just going to tell me that. Okay, thank you. This is on video and it's going on YouTube. Thank you for the lack of your assistance.
Have a good day, sir.
No, I'll ring right back when I'm done.